Wow, there's 100 of you now, and maybe even more. It's pretty hard for me to believe. You see, I've been recording myself playing games for about 3 months now, and in that time 100 of you decided that at least on some level you like what I'm doing. I hadn't anticipated this, neither that so many of you would appreciate my videos, nor that this would happen so fast. So maybe you can understand that I'm not really sure how to react to that. I am very grateful. The fact that I have subscribers is nice, but that's not really what's important to me, because what's important to me is the fact that the people watching my videos, that you gain some entertainment through what I am doing, and that you don't hesitate to give me nice feedback, to give me nice messages, to give me the motivation to not only do this, but do it gladly and with joy. I don't know how to thank you. I think everything I could do would pale in comparison to the gift you gave me by making my channel such a nice place and by actually making me proud of myself and my videos. So what can I do? You people have been listening to me talk about all sorts of things for the last 3 months, and even if you just watched a couple of my videos, that basically means that you took some minutes of your day for me, and all of you deserve to know who that person is you're listening to, so I'm going to thank you by talking about myself. That's a lot less than you deserve, but you do deserve to know who I am and why I'm doing this. And by doing this here, I'm basically giving an answer to a non-existent question. So what better way to get started than by asking questions? My name's Tom. It's just Tom. It's not short for Thomas or anything, it's just plain three-letter Tom. Which I've always been very happy about, because Tom's easy to remember and it doesn't have any deeper meaning whatsoever behind it, which in my opinion is one of the best qualities a name can have. And that is me. I know I'm not very photogenic, but another thing you deserve is to have a face for the voice. So there, that's pretty much how I look when I'm sitting at my desk and recording things. Actually, when I'm playing games, I probably look a bit more like this, but that's really a bit besides the point, right? I live in Germany, which you've probably heard of, so there's not much point really talking about that. As far as countries go, it's a pretty sorry excuse for one, but that's just my opinion. To be precise, I live in Bavaria, which is in the south of Germany, the southeast, to be specific. You know, lederhosen, beer, a language that seems to get by without utilizing any consonants whatsoever. You get the picture. Nice enough place. My mom's from a town on the French-German border, which is also where I was born, and luckily I never got used to talking Bavarian. If you're an English native speaker, just think Texan to the power of 10. Enough said, I think. I started to learn English when I was about 12, mostly by reading English books, because the English you learn in schools here is just abysmal. Although one might argue that Stephen King and Terry Pratchett lead to a bizarre conception of the English language. So my grasp of the language boils down to, books, movies, a couple of trips to Seattle, Canada and London. Very, very great places all. And some chance encounters with people here. I also had a few classes in college that were held in English, but I don't know if that really counts. I'm doing my LPs in English because, and that's just my opinion, it's a language much better suited for casual context than German, or most other languages for that matter. I like the flow it has to it, I like its flexibility and its potential for humor. Don't misunderstand me, I don't want to badmouth German, but it's a very rule-based language, not because of itself, but because of how it's been handled by generations of Germans. In my opinion, it's good for poetry and theory, so not so good for conversation, or for Let's Plays for that matter. Also, the games I like to play tend to be in English, and where there are translated versions, they tend to lose a bit of the humor. If not all of it, which just kills a game like Baldur's Gate, for example. What more about me? I really, really like stories. And this leads me to the next question. I'm recording myself playing games because I like stories. It's something I should delve more into, I think. Somebody once said that we tell ourselves stories in order to live. If there is one thing intelligent life can be measured with, in my opinion, it's the ability to tell stories and the urge to do so. Every human structure, from things that we build or create to systems we choose to live in, families, partnerships, society's political system, boils down to the stories told and untold that keeps them together. Books, movies, music, these work based on stories, but everything else does as well. Human thought, emotion, science, food, power, and so many more may not be stories, but they work like stories, as does language itself. Chemical processes happening in our brains are basically one brain cell telling a story to another one. Or at least they can be viewed as that. I love stories, I really do, in whatever form they may come. I've dealt a lot with how stories work, how telling and being told evolves in itself, and I can honestly say that there's nothing more fascinating to me. I love how stories are always deficient, how they mean nothing until they are told to somebody and then mean as many things as there are people to perceive them. I love how no story can ever end as long as there's people hearing or reading or thinking it. And nothing shows that better than games. A game may exist without people that play it. It may contain the seed of a story, but that doesn't really matter. It becomes a story, it becomes real by being played, just as a book gets real by being read. What was one deficient non-thing before is countless real things as it is played. So games become stories by being played, and that's not really new to me, or probably to most of you. What's new to me, and what was new to me until about a year ago, is that it doesn't end there. You can take that game-player hybrid that becomes the story and tell it to other people. You can start with the game story and make a different story out of it that gets real and told by being received by others. And there you have Let's Plays, which is a story from a story from a story. In my opinion, Let's Players are storytellers, even if they just play the game and say nothing at all. Most do, though, and I was lucky enough to chance upon a few of those who tell their stories amazingly well. People like My Name Is Not Lily, who are able to create beings, motivations, create themes and dynamics, and do that brilliantly. And then there's people like Variax, who tell the stories of their own playing, and who manage to make their stories flow by elegantly erasing all the lines between the game and the gameplay. These are what made me do this. I do enjoy telling stories myself, although I was never very good at it, be it written or spoken. But that doesn't stop me from enjoying it. That's why I wanted to try that special kind of storytelling, playing games and letting that itself evolve by letting people watch it. You watch that. Many of you even enjoy it. You can't imagine how happy that makes me, and that's just as a person receiving validation, but even more so as a lover of stories. No, I'm certainly not. Not one bit. About what I said, yes I am. Not about what this is about. Stories are not serious, they are beyond that. Serious things need to be one clear thing, they need to be fixed and stable so that they can be dealt with. Stories are everything but that. Otherwise they can possibly evolve further, which is what any story is all about. People as well. I actually think that the truly great things in life, as well as the truly wonderful people in anyone's life, should never be taken seriously, should always be allowed to be something else than one thinks they are, should be allowed to evolve. If you take something seriously, you give it a meaning. And good things, in my opinion, should never be restricted to one meaning, because, well, that's how wars start. By the way, that's exactly why I chose Zoidberg to be my alias for this channel. I mean, if Zoidberg isn't the antithesis to serious, then I really don't know what is. And I can also tell you one thing, I'm not going to play any game that doesn't manage not to take itself too seriously. Games like Baldur's Gate don't take themselves seriously, which allows them to be flexible and entertaining to a degree where you can play them dozens of times without it getting boring. And again, a story that does go on. And, well, look at that. I've talked, and there's not a lot of appreciation for you in that, now is there? So, let's get to thank you guys. To everyone who watches this, thank you. Thank you so much. It's not just the fact that I have such a whole lot of subscribers, so many more than I would have imagined to have at this point, or at any point really. It's the fact that you are so nice and friendly and funny guys, and I'm very, very happy that you found your way to my channel, because otherwise I never would have met you, and I love meeting fun and kind people and intelligent people, and that's what you are, and yeah, Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I also wanted to thank My Name Is Not Lily and Variax for getting me started, for giving me support and advice, and just for generally being very, very, very kind and supportive people. And I'm very grateful for that. I appreciate that because without your support, without your advice, I don't know what I'd be doing right now, but it wouldn't be attracting that many nice people. So thank you. And I also wanted to thank the user Invader Zim because, well, we started just about at the same time with LPing. I think it may even have been the same day. And the fact that he stumbled upon my channel and I stumbled upon his, and well, we experienced starting LPing together, made it a lot less lonely than it might have been. And it's just great to have this kind of company, and it's also very great to see somebody else get started and evolve into someone who produces very, very great and hilarious videos, and to see his own projects evolve and his channel become, well, like mine, a really, really great place. So thanks, Zim. Your friendship and your support is very, very much appreciated, in case you're seeing this. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you, guys. Thank you all. I really hope you're taking care of yourselves, because that's important. I hope you're well, because that's important too. But maybe even more important is that you have fun at whatever it is you're doing. That's what I'm wishing you, and that's what I hope happens. Thank you, guys. Thank you a lot.